Something just fly into my nose. Oh my gosh. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Onika. If you're new here, welcome in. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Today we are talking about a brand called AYBL. This is my first ever time trying any of their products, and today I'll be going over 4 of their collections. The Sculpt Wrap collection, the Power Seamless collection, the Empower Seamless collection, and the Staple collection. As usual, my measurements are in the description below for reference. Let's get into it. First up, we have the Sculpt Wrap bra. I have it here in the color Deep Khaki. This is such a beautiful bra. I've honestly not seen a bra with this style before. So the front is this sort of V-neck design. The back kind of wraps over, hence the name Sculpt Wrap. I think that's just a really cute design. Very, very simple bra otherwise. The straps are non-adjustable. They're like these thin straps. They do have some stretch though. You have the AYBL logo right there on the left-hand side of the front of the bra. It is a rubberized pressed-on logo. There are removable cup pads in here that you can take out. And I got this bra in my normal size medium. The material of the Sculpt Wrap collection is kind of like this slightly brushed material. It's a little bit slick though, but it does have a slightly brushed texture to it, if you can see up close. I don't really see this fabric being one that pills easily, but I do think it might snag quite easily, but I will see over time. There is a bottom band. You can't really see it from the front, which I really love. It's more concealed, but on the inside, you can kind of see the band a little bit more. It is this wide. Not a ton of stretch in the bottom band, which is actually really nice for someone who needs extra support. Yeah, I was really surprised with this bra. I was surprised with the coverage that it was giving me. Because it's a V-neck design, I thought it would be like a lot of cleavage showing, but I feel like this gives me a decent amount of coverage, which I really appreciate. The wrap design in the back, I think, is so flattering and so pretty. I do kind of wish the straps came in a little bit more over my traps, but that's just personal preference. Like I like when bras kind of cross over my traps just because I feel like it gives me more support and I find it more flattering on my back. However, these straps are not too bad and you can adjust them a little bit if you want to like move them in a little bit more and it'll stay put for the most part. Say if you have bigger traps that these straps are probably going to dig in a little bit. There's no adjustability again and the straps are a little bit snug. However, they do have decent stretch. I would say the support level is light to medium. If you have a smaller bust, it'll be probably more on the medium support side. But I do think this bra is really nice. I think it would be really nice for weightlifting. I will test that out and see how that wears and put it in the comments below. I absolutely love this color. I am very into neutral, so this is such a beautiful neutral green. It does pull really brown in person. It's kind of like a brownish green. I'll probably do some color comparisons to other things that I have in my closet just so you can see what the actual color looks like next to other greens or other browns. That might be a little bit helpful. Yeah, I absolutely adore this bra. I wish I picked up more, but now they're back up to full price. So, but I really do enjoy this bra. And if they do have another sale, I'll definitely pick up more. Next up, we are staying with the Sculpt Wrap collection. We have the zip up crop jacket. I got this in a size small. And honestly, it fits really well. The Sculpt Wrap material does have a decent amount of stretch to it. So I didn't feel super restricted or anything in this jacket, but here we are. We don't have any thumb holes whatsoever. Pretty normal zipper. I like how at the top you have this sort of like cover up over the zipper so it doesn't irritate your skin. And that is on both sides that it's covered up like that. Love that. And we have these contour lines on the middle of the jacket, kind of a little bit under your bust, depending on how big your bust is. It might be under your bust or it might be over it, depending. For me, it kind of goes a little bit over my bust. Honestly, I thought I wasn't going to keep this jacket. I'm not really a crop jacket kind of person. I like my slim fit jackets to be more full length. But this one's actually really decent. I don't think it's too short. Also with the sleeves, no thumb holes. And I was a little bit worried about the sleeves being too short for me, but they actually land at a pretty good spot on my arms. Again, we have the AYBL logo. It is heat pressed on. Love that it is a monochrome logo so you can't see it very well. It's more concealed, which is really nice. Material is super, super stretchy, has a lot of stretch. So honestly, you can easily size down if you want it to be a more snug fit. However, I do recommend you go with your normal size in jackets for this. You don't have to size down. It's not really recommended. But if you want more of a slimmer fit, more compressed fit, then definitely size down. I know I did mention that I think that this fabric would snag really easily, and you can kind of see that here on the jacket. where it snagged. I have no idea how that happened, but yeah, it's very obvious that this fabric will snag pretty easily. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about this jacket. I think the fit is really nice. It really surprised me. Would I get more? Probably not, just because, like I said, I'm not really like a crop jacket kind of person. However, I am going to be keeping this. I do really like how it fits, and I love the color, and that it matches the bra that I just showed you, so I will be keeping this. The last piece we have in the Sculpt Wrap collection is these Sculpt Wrap shorts. Now, I believe this is a 4-inch inseam. I will, if what I just said is incorrect, I'll fix it on the screen, but I believe it's 4 inches, which is really short for me personally. But yeah, here is the waistband. It is a wrap waistband. It's not sewed together. The back has a normal glute seam, and the glute seam on the top is straight across. It's not dipped down or anything. I do wish it was a V seam in the back. I think that would be a lot more flattering personally and a little bit more modern. However, these shorts aren't too bad. Because the inseam is so short, any sort of movement, it just lifts right up. I would love it if these shorts came in more inseam options, like a 6-inch would be perfect for me. I've mentioned it a few times, but I'm not a huge fan of cross waist in bottoms just because they tend to roll on me, and that's exactly, it didn't take much movement at all for these to start rolling on me, which is unfortunate because I really do like the way it looks overall, but like any sort of movement, the waistband messes up, the inseam rises up even more. Yeah, there's a lot that I would just change about these to make them more flattering and more functional for me personally. A longer inseam, maybe a little bit more compression in the waist, and maybe even a slightly higher rise on the waist as well would help. I didn't find these sheer at all. The fabric isn't double lined, but it has decent, it's not double lined, but it is decent as far as thickness. Like, I don't feel like it's too thin or anything. Again, the AYBL logo is a heat press logo. This one is on the back this time. But yeah, that is all for the Sculpt Wrap collection. And now we're going to move on to the staple collection. First up, we have the staple crop top, and this is in olive green. The logo on this one is very different to the last collection. This is like, it looks like just the letter A in script writing. I also have another AYBL logo at the bottom here on the front of the top. It is a heat pressed rubberized logo, but it is raised. There you go. Now this material is a lot more brushed than the Sculpt Wrap collection. This one I can actually see like fuzzies on the material. So I think that this one would pill a lot easier than the last collection, the Sculpt Wrap collection. So this is just a very basic crop top. The bottom band has a lot of stretch. That's honestly a really nice crop top. I don't typically go for crop tops that are made of like a brush material. I prefer seamless. However, I feel like this one is so lightweight and stretchy that I don't feel restricted in it. Also, this crop top is a little bit shorter than I would typically go for. It kind of sits a little bit above where my bra band would sit. However, because this fabric is brushed, I feel like it clings to other materials pretty well, so it doesn't really ride up very much when I like lift my arms up or anything. So I don't mind it being the length that it is. Really nice material, very stretchy. I would say if you are in between sizes, you can definitely size down. I typically get a medium in crop tops, especially short sleeve ones because of my arms. I don't want it to be too tight there, but I got a small in this one and it fits perfectly. I would absolutely not size up in this. I'm curious if this material is sweat wicking. It is more of a brush material, like I said, so I feel like sweat will definitely show on the fabric, but I'm curious how quickly it would dry. So I'll definitely have to test that out later in the week and then give you an update in the comments. Moving on to these staple shorts. This is in the same color as the crop top, olive. Again, with a logo on the back, it's that same script A on the back and a rubberized logo that is raised. This is the exact same material as the crop top. Ton of stretch. The inseam is short again. It's more of a 4-inch inseam. I really wish they would do um, a lot more variations in inseams. However, I did see after I placed my order that they do have a 6 or 7-inch. I'm gonna have to double check. They do have a longer inseam in these shorts. I want to say it's 7 inches, and I wish I saw that before I placed my order because I definitely would have picked up one of those as well. I don't typically get 7-inch inseams and think that's pretty long, but because this is so short, just any other inseam option would be nice to have. The back has a normal glute seam. The seams up here above the glutes is slightly, it's not straight across, it kind of raises up a little bit, but not quite a V seam. Definitely more flattering than the Sculpt Wrap shorts. I really do love these shorts. The fit is so nice. My only issue is the inseam. That was my fault for not looking into it to see if they had other inseam options, but these shorts are so nice. I did find that even if I squatted down in it, it didn't roll up a ton. Like it rolled up a little bit, but it would be nice to have a longer inseam in this. I think I would have preferred that. And the fabric isn't super thin, so I did find these to be completely squat proof. Now we have the staple sports bra. This color is so beautiful. This is the color Cobalt Blue. It's not really giving cobalt. It's definitely a more lighter blue. It's almost kind of like periwinkle a little bit. We have the AYBL logo in the front here. It is, oh, you can't really see. There it is. Rubberized logo. It is raised. Again, the material is very brushed. I'm seeing like way more fuzzies on this color than I was on the olive color. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe like certain colors might peel a little bit easier than others. Here is the back. Such a cute back. These straps are adjustable, which I love to see. V-neck design in the front. Super, super cute bra. Again, there is a bottom band, but you can't really see it from the front. It's more concealed, but on the inside, you can see the band right there. Definitely doesn't stretch a ton, but again, I don't mind that because I feel like it offers more support when the band isn't super stretchy. I did stick to my normal size in this bra and get a medium, but I do wish that I sized down to a small just because I found that the outer corner of this bra gapes a lot. Like I definitely didn't need to get a medium. I feel like I would have had enough coverage and support both in the front and the sides if I did a small. So I would say if you're in between sizes for this bra, definitely go with your smaller size. The fact that it is adjustable is going to be really helpful here if you're going to size down. I thought because the coverage was quite low that the support was not going to be there, but the support was pretty decent. I feel like it's definitely a light to medium support as well, but I think leaning a little bit closer to medium for me personally. So I was really surprised by that. I do think if I sized down, I definitely would have had more support. So if I were to pick up more of these bras in the future, I would definitely get my smaller size, which is a size small. And to pair with that bra, I got these staple leggings in the same cobalt blue color. I'm just obsessed with this color. It is so beautiful. Here is the front. Again, we have the AYBL logo on this side right there, and then that script A on the back of the leggings. Again, with the glute seams here, it's just raised a tiny bit, and then we have a normal glute seam in the back. Now, this isn't like a scrunch or anything. However, you can hike up the leggings a little bit if you want more glute definition, but I wouldn't guarantee that it would stay there. Like during a workout, it probably might slide out. Fabric has decent stretch. Honestly, when I first put it on, I feel like the body of the legging didn't stretch very much, but my second try on, it definitely stretched out a little bit to a more comfortable fit. Waistband is super, super stretchy. I just love the staple material. Like it's such a nice material. It feels like it's well made. I'm just super curious how this would hold up. I do find the inseam on this to be a little bit short. I'll put the measurement up on the screen of how long it is. But I don't think AYBL has any varying inseams for their leggings. I think it's just one inseam for each style, I guess. It would be nice to see more inseam options just because, I mean, this fits okay on me, but I would prefer the inseam to be a bit longer. And I'm only 5'5", so I can't imagine someone who's significantly taller than me getting these leggings and being happy with the length of them. So I don't know. I'll have to look into it and see if they have other inseam options for the leggings, but I didn't see any when I initially checked. Again, the staple material is not super thin, so it is squat proof in this color for me as well. I did feel a little bit of restriction at the bottom of a squat, and I think that just has to do with the material a little bit. It does have stretch, especially in the waist, but I feel like the body of the legging could be a little bit stretchier, so just keep that in mind. I will be testing these out tonight to see how they do for cardio, so yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Quick update on the Staple collection. It does show sweat like a mother, and it does take a while to wick away this sweat, so just keep that in mind. Overall, I find AYBL's cut and sewn pieces to be really well made. I feel like the quality is definitely there. I will have to see how they wear over time, obviously, but just on my initial try-ons and just like being able to stretch out the fabric, everything seems really well made so far when it comes to their cut and sewn materials. Now we're going to move on to seamless. Okay, first up we have the Power Seamless collection. I'm going to start with the bra that I have from that collection, and it is the Power Seamless Sports Bra. This is in the color gray, and it's a size medium. So we have a sort of V-neck design in the front, and in the back we have like this highway overpass of a back where it's just so many straps going on here, but it is super flattering on. Band has decent stretch. We have the AYBL logo on the back of the bra, and it is sewed in. Now this bra I'm kind of so-so about. It just feels like a bra that I can like easily get from like AliExpress or Amazon or just something like that. Like there's just nothing really about it that says luxe to me. I also have this bra in 3 colors here, and they don't all fit the same. So I'll just quickly give the other 2 colors. So I have grape wine and pink here, and I got them both in a size medium as well as the gray. And I find the gray to be the most ill-fitting out of the 3. I feel like just this fabric isn't as compressive as the other 2, so I found that I was getting a little bit more spillage with this one, and I feel like the bottom band was like moving a little bit more than the other 2 colors. I will do a flat lay of all 3 colors later on to see if there's like a difference in the coverage, because putting them on, I do feel like the grape wine and pink colorways give me more coverage and slightly more support, whereas the gray, I felt like I was getting the least amount of support and coverage. So I'll definitely see if there's like a noticeable difference in a flat lay. Yeah, this bra has no adjustability whatsoever. None of the straps on the back are adjustable. They do have removable cup pads, so you can take the cup pads out if you would like. Yeah, but honestly, I wasn't super thrilled about these bras. Like, they're just kind of very... I wasn't really wowed by the Power Seamless bra like I was for the last 2 collections, so eh. If you're gonna pick up this bra, I would say size up if you're in between sizes, or just go with your normal size. I'm a medium in bras typically, and I went with the medium, and I absolutely would not size up or size down in these. I think a medium fit decently. I think it's just the design of the bra that doesn't really flatter me very well. So I'm just holding these up next to each other, and it's very obvious that the gray bra, now it's completely, they're flush on this side, right? You can see on this side, the gray bra is significantly bigger than the other 2. So that makes sense why when I put it on, I feel like it wasn't really very supportive to the other 2 colors, because it's noticeably bigger than the other 2. So yeah, there is a little bit of consistency there with their seamless bras so far. Next, I have the Power Seamless crop tops, and I have this in 3 colors as well. I have it in gray, the same as the bra, grape wine, and I also have it in blue. So here are all 3 colors. You have gray, blue, and grape wine. A very basic crop top. There's not a lot going on here. The front is pretty simple, like a lot of the seamless crop tops we've seen on the market. The back, however, does have a more of an open back with a strap at the bottom. Again, I have this in 3 colors. The gray and the blue fit virtually the same for me. However, I noticed with the grape wine, the band on the back is significantly wider than the other 2 colors. I'll show you in a flat lay. But you can kind of see when I have them on that the purple one sits a little bit more flush on my back than the gray and the blue. Here you can see the band. This is gray here, and this is grape wine. The band on the back is a lot less wide on the gray than it is on the grape wine color. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm assuming that the grape wine color came out after the gray and the blue, and they maybe made updates to it. I did find the grape wine color to fit a lot better on me than the gray and the blue. I just feel like it sit a little bit more flush on me. However, I still think there could be improvements to the band on the back. I still feel like there is a little bit of wrinkling, a little bit of gaping. So if it could fit a little bit more flush on me, that would be really nice. If you are going to pick up the Power Seamless crop tops, I definitely recommend going with your normal size. However, if you're in between sizes, maybe size down, just because they have a decent amount of stretch. And also because the band on the back is a little bit loose, sizing down would probably help with that. Moving on to the Power Seamless bottoms. First, we have the leggings, and I got it in the color gray. This is like a very typical seamless scrunch legging. It has a 3-tiered waistband and a scrunch on the back. Again, I think this only comes in one inseam, which really presented an issue for me in these leggings. Like, they came up really, really short on me, which is saying a lot because I couldn't even pull these leggings all the way up. So if I can't even pull the leggings all the way up to where it's supposed to sit on me and they're still short, this inseam is way too short for me. The waistband has decent stretch. However, I feel like the body of the leggings, it looks like it's really stretchy, right? But then you put it on and it only goes up to a certain point and then I can't pull it anymore. I was really worried that if I kept yanking at the leg that I was going to rip it. Really, when it came to my thighs, I was not able to move the fabric up anymore. I also had an issue with the scrunch. I feel like this scrunch doesn't stretch enough. Like, they probably need to, oh, it doesn't stretch at all. Look, I can't, okay, well that's a problem. That explains a lot. But yeah, the scrunch has no stretch, as you just saw. So that's concerning because I worry that if I were to, well, if I were able to get these leggings on fully and I did a squat in them, I don't think this scrunch would last. I don't think it would hold up. I find it strange that it doesn't have any stretch because, I mean, this is something you're meant to be like moving in, right? And training. And the fact that there's no stretch at all in a part of the legging that is probably most vulnerable to ripping is a little strange to me. But yeah, I definitely want to recommend these leggings. The fit is completely off. I don't know what's going on with the fabric when you put it on that it doesn't stretch up to a certain point. Yeah, so definitely, yeah, not my favorite. Definitely wouldn't recommend. As far as sheerness, I don't think I noticed any sheerness, but I also don't have the leggings on properly, so I can't really give like a fair assessment of that. Definitely wouldn't recommend. There are a ton of other scrunch seamless leggings on the market that are way better than these, so I definitely wouldn't recommend these personally. Next up, I have the Power Seamless Shorts, and I have this in two colors. I have it in pink and ocean teal. You have similar comments for both of these shorts. The main one being the scrunch issue. The same thing as the leggings, the scrunch doesn't stretch at all. And I find that to be an issue when you're trying to get the scrunch like in place and in a spot where it's going to be like safe to train in. It doesn't stretch at all. So I definitely had an issue with that. So again, the Power Seamless fabric is super, super stretchy, but I think the stretchy fabric paired with the scrunch that doesn't stretch at all is just not a very good fit. I felt like for both of these colors, when I try to put the scrunch where it's supposed to be, it just slides right back out. Now, just putting these shorts on top of each other, it looks like the pink definitely runs a little bit bigger than ocean teal, and I definitely felt that way when they were on. I feel like I had more fabric in the front on the pink than I did on ocean teal. But either way, this is just not the Power Seamless collection is just not my favorite. I feel like there's a lot that needs to be fixed with this just to make it more functional. And again, we have a short inseam, so I did find that these roll up so easily. Like any sort of movement, and that inseam goes from 4 inches to like 1.5, and that's being generous. So yeah, that's it for Power Seamless. I guess for the shorts, go with your normal size. Don't size down because the scrunch does not stretch at all. Definitely don't size down. Sizing up, I guess you could do. It would probably help with the inseam being a little bit longer, and maybe give you a little bit more material to work with in the back to hopefully get the scrunch in the right place. However, I already have issues with there being excess fabric in a size small, so I don't really think sizing up is a good idea. All right, and now we have the final seamless collection of the group, and that is going to be the Empower Seamless. So first we have the Empower Seamless bra. I have it in two colors here. We have purple and magenta. These are the exact same style. However, I do not find that they fit the same. I feel like the magenta colorway has a little bit more compression to me and a little bit less wrinkling. Purple one you can see has a lot of wrinkling going on. And I don't know what's going on with these cup pads, but they're very like pointy. I don't know, it's really strange. They're a really weird shape. So not a fan of that. Here's a stretch of the bottom band for the purple and for magenta. Now, unlike the Power Seamless collection, the logo on the Empower collection is a rubberized logo. It's not sewn in like it is on Power. Back of this bra is a Y back, and these straps are attached to each other. There's no adjustability whatsoever. It's definitely more of a light support bra for me. Again, similar comments to the Power Seamless bra. There's really nothing about these bras that I'm like wowed by. I feel like I've definitely seen these bras from other brands and also AliExpress, Amazon, stuff like that. So I'm not really super inclined to get them from AYBL at the price that they're offering them for. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about these bras. It's a very simple, seamless bra. Again, fit is going to vary depending on color, which is unfortunate that it's not consistent, but I feel like that's kind of like a trend with seamless. There's a lot of inconsistency with seamless in general, and I'm definitely noticing that here with some of these pieces. And lastly, we have the Empower bottoms. I'm going to start with the shorts. I have the Empower shorts here in blue. Here is the front. It is way more high-waisted than Power Seamless, as you can see. And then here's the back with the scrunch there. Let's see if the scrunch has stretch. I'm going to take a wild guess and say no. Oh, and it doesn't. Love that. But yeah, I like the bras. The logo is a rubberized logo that is stamped on. These shorts are not it. The fit was completely off. I got a size small, and honestly, these fit so big everywhere. It's a little bit weird. And again, because the scrunch doesn't have any sort of stretch to it, I could not get it where it needed to go. Like it just, the overall fit of this is terrible. I had so much extra fabric to work with and I didn't know what to do with it. There was nowhere to put it. Yeah, definitely don't like these shorts at all. I think it's probably my least favorite thing out of the entire collection or the entire group of stuff that I've talked about today. Again, with the really short inseam, I think this is also 4 inches. It does not stay put. However, I do think they offer multiple inseams in the Empower. I think 2 inseams to be exact. But I think it's 4 inches and then maybe 6 or 7 inches. I definitely would go with the longer length. But overall, the fit of these shorts are just not it. Like, it's just not gonna work. And then the leggings, exact same design as the shorts. I just got this in the magenta color. These do fit a little bit better, and I did find that the scrunch does go where it needs to go a little bit better than the shorts. However, I still feel like there isn't enough compression with this, and I feel like the waistband is a little bit too wide. Um, the inseam is too short. Like, there's just a lot that could be improved with this. And knowing how popular seamless leggings and shorts are, and how well they're doing in the market, it would be nice to see some improvements made to these. I didn't really notice much sheerness, definitely not with the magenta color. With the blue, I think just to be safe, go with a nude colored underwear. But again, the fit is off, so I would be a little bit wary about the scrunch, the fact that it doesn't stretch. I'm a little bit worried about like it ripping. Yeah, I would just keep that in mind if you're picking up the Empower Seamless collection. All right, so I think that is all I have for today. I'm gonna try to speed through this outro because my battery is dying, but definitely my top picks from AYBL from what I've tried. Definitely the Sculpt Wrap collection. I absolutely adore that bra. It is absolutely one of my favorite pieces from today. The jacket is really nice as well. Just wish the shorts had a longer inseam. If they did, I would definitely pick them up in that inseam and probably keep them just because I love the fit of them. Also think the staple collection is really, really nice. I don't know how popular that collection is, but I feel like they had a decent amount of stock during the sale. So if it's not a popular collection, I definitely think it's an underrated one. The pieces are really, really well made, and I love the coverage that I got from the bra. The crop top's really nice. The leggings are nice. I would just need to pick up the shorts in a longer inseam and I would be absolutely happy with it. But yeah, I hope this review helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you head out. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye!